Hey everyone, today we are going to dive into something super exciting. We are going to use the powerful AI model Llama 3 in your own VS Code locally and completely free. Let's check what Llama 3 is. As I mentioned, it's a large language model created by Meta, formerly known as Facebook. In here, as you can see, we have different options. We have 8 billion parameter and 70 billion, 7 and 0 billion parameter models. And what those models, the large language models, can do. Let's see. It can answer a lot of questions and it can even create some code for you. Well, it can boost your productivity hugely. Here you can see some additional information and let's dive into the benchmarks. As you can see, Llama 3, even with 8 billion parameters, is really doing great in comparison to Gamma or Mistral 7 billion instruct models. And if we check the 70 billion Llama 3 model, it is even better than Gemini Pro 1.5 or Cloud 3. Okay, let's get started. If you go to the Getting Started section of the Llama 3 website, you can see you can use it in AWS, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, IBM Watson's, Microsoft Azure, or other options. But we don't want to use it like that way, right? So, what we want to do is we want to use Llama 3 in our local environment. To do so, first we need Ollama. Here you can see the Ollama website. You can download the Ollama for your own environment. It could be a Mac, it could be a Linux, or it could be a Windows environment. And after that, let's check Llama 3, how we can use it. Looks like we only need to run this command. That's perfect. Let's try. It cannot connect to the Ollama. Means we need to first run Ollama. Okay, that's perfect. Now let's run Llama 3. Now, if you don't have the Llama 3 in your local environment, it will first download it, then it will run it for you. And you can see the Ollama is running in here in our local, and now the Ollama is running Llama 3 for us. Let's check if it is working or not. 4 times 4. Easy one. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, correct. That's great. Now, this part is done. We are running Llama 3 with the help of Ollama in our local environment, which is great. Let's move on how we can use it with the VSCode. Okay, now we have the Llama 3 running on the Ollama. So how can we integrate that large language model into our VSCode? To do so, first you need to go to the extensions and you need to find the code GPT. If you couldn't see it, you need to type code GPT and install this one. And it is installed. As you can see, now we have the code GPT section here. And all you need to do is go there. We don't need this one. Because I already used it before, it automatically selected the Llama for me. But normally it should be empty, or maybe it's going to show the code GPT plus. And now you need to select the Llama here. And after that, you have some options like Llama 3 70 billion or Llama 3 8 billion. So I prefer the 8 billion one. You just need to click this one and let's see if it is working. 4 times 4, 16, perfect. It is working fine. Now let's use Llama 3 to create some code. I already have a code GPT folder in here. Let's create a file called app.js, for example. You can see it's empty and we can hop back to the code GPT window to use our Llama 3 large language model here. Let's create an API using let's create a REST API a REST API using Node.js, and for now just return static JSON for customers. Let's see what it's going to create. I'm really curious. Here is a basic example of how you could set up a REST API in Node.js. Okay, nice. It is asking us to install Express and body parser. Okay, npm init done, npm install Express and body parser. It is downloading in here, and here is the code. Const express require express. It's using body parser, and here is the static JSON that's as we requested. And you can see it is going to run in port 3000, but I think I'm running something else in 3000, so I will change it to 4000. And our endpoint is API customers. Okay, nice. You can see you can just click here to insert the code to your file, and after that, as it's mentioned, we just need to run node app.js. I mentioned I'm going to change the port because it's already in use, and run it again. Server started on port 4000. Okay, let's go to the local host, not 3000 but 4000, and API customers. Pretty good. You can see it is returning the static JSON that as we requested, and it is working quite fine. And from now on, we can ask to change it. For example, and now instead of using a static JSON object here, I want to use a database. Please update the code for me. Yes, you can see my prompt here. As you can see, now it is using a Mongo instance to persist our data. Nice. This looks okay. And if we just click insert code, it will replace the selected code, as you can see here. Well, for this one, probably I'm going to need to run the MongoDB. I can use Docker to run the MongoDB in my local. Probably I'm already doing that, but you get the gist of it. I think it's a really powerful tool to increase your productivity, your overall productivity, especially when you are doing coding. So, strongly recommend it. Have fun. Yes, today we saw Llama 3, which is the latest and greatest large language model from Meta. And according to some benchmarks, it's even better than Gemini or even ChatGPT. And also, today we used Llama 3 in our local environment with the help of Ollama. And by using some extension, we even demonstrated how to use it in our VSCode environment to create a REST API from scratch. It was really useful, and you can see it is also boosting your productivity a lot. I hope it was useful, and if you have any questions, feel free to write it down in the comment section. Also, I'm going to share the links in the description of this video. Thanks a lot, and see you next time.